Okay, so thank you guys so much for hopping on. I'm so excited about this new team call where we are just merging together as lots of teams that have split off from each other coming together as one, because I feel like the more you can surround yourself with happy, positive people, the better. So Adley's like playing behind me, so I might have to go grab her. But so basically what we were doing is, Kelly Hanner is my coach, and I started off that I kind of branched off away from her. Okay, hold on. I kind of branched off away from her team, started doing my own thing, and I enjoyed it, but at the same time now I'm looking back and I'm thinking I don't want people let me mute everybody because I got feedback. Okay. So I don't want everybody to think like, oh, I have to start my own team and then I have to start my own team calls and I have to do this. There's just so much stuff. And then if your coaches are listening to your team call, chances are they're busy and they're not going to be able to also get on our, my team call. And I want to be able to learn from other leaders, and I want everybody to be able to, give their insight, because say I'm your coach. I might say the same thing over and over, and it's like kind of like your mom, like telling you to clean your room, and you're like, yeah, I'll do it later. But then somebody else says, something totally different about, cleaning your room. And they're like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. I totally should have been cleaning my room this whole time, So sometimes it's just the same message, but from a different perspective, and it just really hits home for you. So that's why I'm so excited, because for my coaches, they've heard me talk forever. And I just really think that also too, it's kind of like a really cool feeling like, oh, I get to, talk with everybody in front of my team. I get to be the leader today. So I think that it's really inspiring that everybody, is looked to as a leader, and not just like, oh, there's April, or, oh, there's Kelly. I want us all to come together and learn and grow with each other. So that being said, a couple housekeeping things for Summit, the Success Club party. You have to have 20 Success Club points in April and May. It doesn't have to be 10 each, but you do have to at least have 5 each month. Say you had 15 this month and you have 5 next month, that's fine. That'll qualify you. But so 20 points in April and May for the Success Club party at Summit, however you want it, but you just have to have Success Club both months. So that is definitely a big goal to shoot for. Who here on this call is going to Punta Cana? Yay! So excited. So we leave Sunday. And who here is scheduled for Riviera Maya, or who here was also on the wait list for Riviera Maya? Okay, so it's get your butt on the wait list. Oh wait, is there a wait list for? No, I forgot they changed it, right? They're going by top Success Club points. Oh, sorry to burst your bubble. But so that's what, but the other cool thing is that if you're a Success Club legend, you get to register for that. So you can still qualify. Melissa. I was like, who's April McDonald? So, for 2019, just make your goal hitting Success Club every month. And the more points that you get also, the more likely you are to get off of that wait list. So, but yeah, if you're a Success Club legend, which a Success Club All-Star is you've either hit Success Club 5 or Success Club 10 for 12 months, and a legend is 24 months, so 2 years, and that automatically gets you a spot on those trips. So that's definitely a reason why Success Clubs should be non-negotiable. Plus you're, helping 3 people getting your shakes paid for. Since I'm going to be gone, I need to find somebody to do the 27th. Rachel, did you sign up for that? No, you signed up for the 4th. Yeah, okay. So I don't think anybody has signed up for next week. Melissa or Greg, do either of you want to take that? Okay. Greg! I think I vote Greg. Melissa did a couple weeks ago and it was awesome. And you have to figure out how to upload that crap to YouTube, because get Mark to help you. There was 2 really, really good calls that I'll share with you guys. Yes, hashtag #ManClan. Oh, he's saying wait. I know sign language now. Look at that man bun. I'm cut off from team calls. I sent him an emerald gift. I think that's what he's going to get, a man clan. Jared, oh my goodness, we have another man on. How about that? Growing our man clan. Is that what you went to get? I can't see it. Hashtag man clan. Oh, okay. We really hyped that up, and now we're just looking at your paper. So, yeah, but so I am super excited. So Greg, we just nominated you for next week. Hashtag man clan. Talk about whatever you want, and that will be awesome too. So I am going to move it over to Molly, and then when Molly is finished, Melissa has a big announcement about, if you guys saw, we shared in Illuminate that she won $1,000 for her 109-pound weight loss. Yay! Cheers if you're drinking. I've got my water with a metal, like aluminum straw. I'm so excited about this. I love straws. Okay. So, yeah, so she is now in the running for the quarterly prize for $5,000. Oh, yeah, and oh, no, I'm not pregnant. I thought you were talking about Melissa. And Melissa's also found out she's pregnant, too. So it's been a really great week, super exciting. Greg has hit his 50-pound weight loss, so that was super exciting. Yay, Greg! And he also hit Emerald this month, so it's been a big month for him. Rachel is quitting. Is today your last day? Was today your last day? Or the Friday? Tomorrow? 23rd? Sunday. I'm like reading lips here. 23rd. So yeah, Sunday is her last day at her job, and she's coming home to be a mama and coach full time. So that's super exciting too. So many good things happening this month. Michael White isn't on here, but she's down 44 pounds post-baby. She looks amazing. Anybody else? Does anybody have anybody to celebrate or toot their own horn? Did I miss anybody? Don't feel bad. We are all about recognition. We don't care if you toot your own horn here.
I know Lauren hit, it was either 20 or 30 pounds.
Woo!
And Justin surprised her hubby with a new body when she came home because she's lost, I think, 20 or 30.
Oh my
and
gosh,
she just came home from deployment.
Oh, that is so fun. I totally forgot about that she had lost that weight while he wasn't there. Oh, so sweet. Yeah, and Melissa's new coach, Terry, has 12 Success Club points in her first month, like crazy. So our team is just doing so awesome. Veronica hit Emerald either the beginning of this month or last month. I was like 3 weeks late for your Emerald post. So super, super awesome stuff. So without further ado, Melissa's going to talk after Molly, but Molly is one of our diamond coaches, and she is just the funniest, sweetest little bubbly person ever. And, you know, she just is one of those people that she has such a big personality. And when you meet her in person, you're like, it's shocking that she's like a really big introvert. And so she is just, has such great, tips on her challenge groups and her free groups, and she has just been, you know, kicking butt. She is going to Punta Cana with us. I'm so excited. She's about to have her 30th birthday, so we'll get to celebrate that there. And I am just so excited for her. She is, you know, a fur mom. She's a server, a bartender, and she's, you know, I actually know Molly because her and my husband were restaurant managers together. And is that real, Mal? What? Look at all the boys on here today. And so actually she was like, okay, Matt, I've gained 20 pounds since I moved to Charlotte. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the 21-day fix. I'm going to buy Shakeology, and I'm going to get hot. He was like, oh, my wife sells that. And so he just connected us, and that's how we found each other. Actually, she's still in my phone as Molly P.F. Jangs. So I need to change that. But she was able to quit her restaurant management position and she's bartending and, was able to take down her hours because of coaching. So she is a rock star. We are so lucky to hear from her. I want you guys to use this chat, ask any questions. She might be distracted, so she might have to wait to the end, but we can ask them too. Do not be a stranger. I think the best thing we can do is get to know each other. That's what I love about merging our calls together. So any questions you have, whatever, put it in the chat, communicate with each other, and let's have some fun. So go ahead, Molly.
Thank you, April. Oh my gosh, this is so fun because there's so many faces on here that I don't know, and I love it. So yay for you guys for hopping on. I appreciate that more than anything, and thanks, Adley, for being a supporter too. So everybody asked, so you're receiving today, how to run successful free groups and challenge groups. And I kind of love this topic because it really hits home for me personally, because up until recently, I kind of felt like my challenge group just like sucked. Like no matter what I did, I just was like, I'm the only one posting in here. What is the point of this? I mean, people did not spend $140, $160, $200 to come in a group and just hear me blab all day long. Like, this is ridiculous. So we're going to talk about ways that we can make some bomb-ass challenge groups, and we're also going to talk about the importance of free groups. Again, something that hits home to me because it's something that I neglected for a while, but have recently realized the real value of a free group. And then I also want to talk about the My Challenge Tracker app, because personally, I love it. And I know there are a lot of people, a lot of coaches out there that are hesitant to use it because it is new and it might not seem as user-friendly as a Facebook group, but I am here to debunk all of that, and I'll show you the way I use it and how I also combine it with a Facebook group, so that way if you still are super into Facebook in that group, you can utilize both. But I just want you to keep in mind, like, Beachbody wouldn't give us something if they didn't think it was going to make our lives easier. And as coaches, we tend to make our lives a lot harder than they really need to be. And once I started using this challenge tracker, like, I literally felt like my life was saved. So let's get to it. Challenge groups are the bread and butter of our business. If we're not running challenge groups, what are we doing? I'm really not sure. So what I did was I first wanted to collect probably my top 6 things that we need to think about when we're running a challenge group. And this is going to go for whether it's a free group or a paid group. It can go either way, but these are some things that I recently discovered that are really going to make sure that your groups are really fun and people are interacting in them and they are talking about them, most importantly, to other people, right? If people aren't having fun and they don't like what they're doing, they're probably going to say that too. Oh, I'm in this group and it totally sucks. Or they're just not going to say anything, period. So, 6 things that you want to keep in mind about your groups. 1, you need to keep in mind your intent and your vibe. So what I mean by that is you have to be intentional about what your group is for, and you cannot attract the wrong people to your group. So we talk about your vibe attracts your tribe like all the time, right? And we kind of talk about that as far as when we're building our team and we're attracting coaches that are very similar to us. But that's the same thing that we need to utilize with our groups too. So our groups, our free groups, our challenge groups need to follow that same path. So when we post about, and I mean on our personal page, when we're posting about like the top 6 things about us, right? So we're into health, we're into fitness. We post about that. I'm a dog lover, so I post about that. You know, I love wine, so I post about that. I don't know, lazy, so I post about that. I'm a bartender, so I post about that, whatever. Keep that in mind when you do your group too, because the people who want to join your group are going to be people who are just like you. So you need to think of what solution to a problem can I give people just like me? So that's your intent. Your intent is to solve a problem within your free group. So if I personally am struggling with quitting my soda habit, people just like me are going to struggle with getting rid of soda. So voila, I'm going to start a free 7-day get rid of soda. It's the devil challenge group, right? So, and people who are just like me, who are soda addicted, are going to want to join. Number 2 is to always be present. You cannot expect that the challenge group, free or paid, is going to run itself, because it's not. Just because people joined your group, and maybe you have 100+ people in your group, like that would be awesome, right? But I guarantee you maybe 3% of those people are going to on their own post. You cannot expect people to do that, because they are not like us. They're not coaches. They don't understand the value of posting. So with that being said, you need to commit when you run a group, free or paid. You need to commit to giving your members a piece of your mind every single day. A piece of your mind, a piece of your life, your rationale, a little bit of value. You have to commit to being there every single day. And by doing so, what's going to happen is something really important, and you're going to start building relationships, because you are now showing a little glimpse into your life, into this group, that maybe they're new friends of yours on Facebook. Maybe they've only been your friend for like a week. So they don't see you posting all the time. They haven't been following you for 5 years. So these groups are going to let them build a relationship with you. And that's probably the most important thing that you can do in this business. You want to have people being your raving fans, to be lifelong customers, people who are singing your praises at the top of their lungs, because look at what you just gave them, right? So that's the point. By being present, that's what you're going to do. Number 3 is you have to be laser focused. So I kind of talked about this a little bit with intent and vibe, but by being laser focused, that means that you can't just show up and make your post every day, but you have to go through every other person's post in the group. If they're posting something, it probably means they're showing you what they like, or what they need, or what they need help with. And you have to pay attention to those clues, because I always think when someone likes my post, and maybe it's a post about Shakeology, I just consider that them saying they need Shakeology and I need to reach out to them. So if I post something and they like it, maybe I posted about, today I really struggled because I had to work 12-hour shift, and soda is readily available for me for free, and someone liked that, then you know what? Maybe I need to reach out to them and be like, do you deal with this too on a daily basis? And build that connection. So laser sharp focus in these groups. So that was number 3. Number 4 is, this is fun. So you have to make everybody, regardless of whether there's 2 people in your group, 1 person in your group, 55 people in your group, maybe you've joined with another coach and there's like 100 people in your group. You have to make every single freaking person in that group feel like they are important and they are valued. There's nothing worse, in my opinion, than, say I'm a challenger, right? Which I was before I started coaching. And we had this big group, and that was kind of what turned me on into coaching, because I love that accountability. There is nothing worse if I were to go into that group, talk about a struggle that I had that day, ask for help in that group, and have not 1 person respond. The next day, I'm probably going to wake up feeling a little bit defeated. I'm going to say, screw it. You know, I don't need to keep doing this. Like, no one understands what I'm going through. No one can offer help. And that's sad. That's really sad. So you have to make people feel important and let them know that you are paying attention and that you do care and you're here to help. Whatever you're doing is showing up on my computer. Sorry. I'm on Guy's computer.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing anything.
No, sorry, I'm on Guy's computer and it's like linked. So I don't know if you saw that or not, but.
Hi. How's it going, Guy? Not gonna talk.
Sorry. Anyway, so what I like to do is at the end of the night, I like to scroll through all the posts as far as I can go. And if I see something that wasn't commented on, I'm going to go ahead and comment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag somebody else in that group, someone that I think might be able to relate and give an opinion, somebody other than me. Like what April said, we're kind of the mama bear, and sometimes helps for somebody else to say it. So if someone were to comment, I'm having a really hard time with my carbs, 2 yellows just aren't enough in my opinion. How do you guys do this? And I'll go in, nobody commented, so I'm going to comment. I'm going to talk about what I do, and then I'll tag somebody who I think would be great at answering this. So I'll say, well, here's my personal opinion, And then I'll say, you know what, April McDonald, what do you think about this? And then lo and behold, now a conversation starts and people feel valued. They feel like you care about what they're going through. So that's number 4. Number 5 is that you set the tone for the group. So this is super important. So that kind of goes along with everything we talked about, making sure you're showing up daily, making sure you're commenting on people's posts, because that's going to set the tone for other people to do the same. Monkey see, monkey do. But one thing that I've learned recently is that it might be a good idea, if you're struggling for interaction, to message your accountability partner, to message a couple coach friends and say, hey, do you mind if you if I add you to my group for a couple days, and could you just pop in once a day and make a post so people feel more comfortable? So your challengers aren't going to know that they're coaches, right? They have never had interaction with them. So for them to come in and start posting, those people, now they don't just see me posting or you posting, they see other people that they don't know, and they're going to feel more comfortable in doing it themselves. So that's a really great idea that I started utilizing just recently. And then lastly, number 6 is we have to make sure that we are building a community that shares. So what I mean by that is, I think my biggest struggle as a new coach was that I kind of set too many guidelines and too many rules for my groups, and I didn't make it something where people felt like they could post openly. So what doesn't work is you posting a motivational meme every single day. People see that enough through their timeline on Facebook. They joined your group. That's not what they want to see. They want something that's going to add value to their lives, and that doesn't, unfortunately, because they can go on Pinterest and just look that up themselves. So there has to be more than just you prompting, okay, post your dinner below, and that's your post for the day. Or, okay, here's your motivational meme for today. I hope they like it. Like, what does that do for people? That doesn't do anything at all. You need to come in and provide them value and ask them questions about their day, or about what was something that they thought they did really well that day. And the way I like to do it is I like to talk about what I did personally, and that I'm really proud of myself, and that I want to be able to celebrate them too. So share it. And I don't necessarily mean share it below. I personally like when people are posting on the page itself and not just in a thread. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's fun to scroll through and see what people are saying. But the way I think of it is this. If you were to get a bunch of friends together and say, hey, let's go, I'll go out for brunch on Sunday, right? 5 of you are going out for brunch on Sunday. On Saturday night, do you sit there and write down a list of topics to talk about when you go to brunch on Sunday? Probably not, because that's weird and creepy. So why are we doing that in our challenge groups? We're not letting conversations happen organically. We're being so structured. So these people, think of them as your brunch friends, your Sunday brunch friends. And you show up and you talk about your week and what happened. And it's not a list of A, B, C, D, E, F, G that I need to talk about. That's just silly. People don't do that. So those are my 6 tips for groups. But I want to break it down a little bit further and divide it up between free groups and challenge groups. I was very, very guilty of not running free groups ever because I just felt like I had a lot of moochers and people that were making me upset because they wanted to be in my free group every single month, but yet they never bought anything. And I was just like, screw this. This is stupid, And so I kind of gave up on that. And only recently have gotten back into it because I realized that I was being very silly and that was mean of me. So free groups are really important because they build trust. And when it comes to health and fitness, that's super important. We're not selling a dress. We're not selling a shade of lipstick. We're literally selling people ourselves and the promise that we can help them love themselves. So people need to trust us, right? Because I tell you right now, if there's some sleaze bag posting about how much money they just made off of their health and fitness business and they want 1,000 more customers to reach their goal, like, I don't want to be one of those statistics. Like, that sounds awful. I want someone who cares about me. So free groups build trust. Of course, they gain prospects. So when it comes time to run your paid challenge group, you have a list of people that you can invite that are already familiar with what you do. And it also, and this is, I think, the most important part, it offers people a look into what you personally can offer them. So I kind of think as free groups as your job interview, right? So your free group is basically you putting your A game on the line and you're saying, this is why you need to hire me as your personal health and fitness coach because I freaking rock and I have so much more to give to you. This is just the surface. So that's what a free group is for. So Melanie Mitchell always says the majority of her time is spent in her free groups because she knows how important it is when it comes to prospecting. And I will talk about how your free group should run before you do a paid group too. So if I don't get to that, please remind me, but it's on my bullet list. So I just saw that in the chat. So free groups offer free advice. So don't just post what you're doing, but post about why you're doing and how it's helped you. And there's so many different options you can do. You don't feel like you have to do a clean eating group. I feel like as a Beachbody coach, that's always your go-to because it just seems logical and it seems like people want that. But think about, like I said, think about yourself and think about if you were scrolling through Facebook and you were thinking about getting fit and healthy or getting your life together, what type of thing would help you? And those are the type of groups that you want to run. So for example, I talked about soda. You can do that. You can do free meal prep. You can do crock pot. I know that's been super popular lately. You can do a free water challenge group, and you're going to give tips on how to make sure you drink enough water and why it's important. You can do an ab group. You can do a booty group. You can do a clean cheats group. That's something I like personally because I love sweets. So anything that allows me to have sweets and not feel bad about it is perfect in my opinion. Maybe if you struggle with time management, not necessarily fitness related, but it's most definitely health related when it comes to like not wanting to go crazy because you feel like there's not enough time in the day. Maybe you want to run a time management group for really busy people who work 3 jobs just like you do. And you can talk about the tips that helps you get you through the day. Rachel Eugen hosts a 5-day different taco recipe group a day. Hey, I'm good with that. There's a lot of taco recipes out there. But I mean, it's completely up to you. For me, I would enjoy someone teaching me how to budget better. I would love a 7-day free group that taught me different ways to save money on a daily basis. Just little things that provide value. So with your free group, and I am taking this from Melanie because why not? Who else are you supposed to learn from? So what she does, and I think it's great, is to add people a few days before your free group starts. So she calls that her preseason. Is Mullen on this video? I don't see her. No? Oh, okay. I don't have to make fun of her. What? No, whatever. So she adds people a few days before the group starts, and that's what's called her preseason, and she will make a welcome video. And it can be a live video or pre-recorded that you upload, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And she's going to set the tone and the expectations for the group ahead of time. So on day 1, people aren't walking into this free group like, what the heck did I just sign myself up for? I have no idea. So generally, if your group starts on a Monday, which they normally do, you'll probably want to make the group readily available on Friday, get people added, and then post your video. So they now have the weekend to woosah, here I go, get whatever they need ready. So that's what your preseason is. And you can let them know, hey, this is how the group's going to work. This is what I'm going to provide for you, and this is what I expect from you. And then once the group starts, she personally messages, not sends a message in the Facebook group and tags everybody. She personally messages everybody in the group on day 1 and just wants to reassure them that she's there for them, that if they have any questions, they can feel free, just to give that reassurance that they're going to love this group. And you can ask them if they have any questions before they start to make sure they're set up for success. And then she's going to follow up with them on day 3, and she's going to follow up with them on day 5. And maybe day 5 is the last day of your group, maybe day 7. Unless it's an ongoing personal group, like if you want to run a makeup group because you're super into makeup and you just want to add people on a daily basis and it becomes this open forum, that's different. But I don't recommend making an ongoing like workout group or anything like that because it's just going to die really fast. Anything longer than 7 days really isn't going to hold people's attention. But on the last day, she's going to make another video, live or uploaded, and she's going to thank everybody for taking their time out and joining the group. She's going to congratulate everybody for being awesome. She'll probably shout a couple people out for being killer, and then she's going to start talking about her next challenge group. She's going to say, just so you know, I have so much more to give you guys. I run health and fitness accountability groups every single month, and if you enjoyed your time in this group, you're going to love this. Here's what it's going to entail. And If you want to continue your health and fitness, either like this video or comment below, and I'll make sure to send you some more details. What's super important about what she does is that she doesn't just leave it at that and wait for people to like and comment. She's still going to message every single person in that group, regardless of whether they liked or commented. And she's going to do that the next day. And she's going to thank everybody individually for being in the group. And she's going to reiterate about her next challenge group and see if they're interested. So basically what you want to do, and I think this is where Josie's question comes into play, is the way you want to time your free groups out versus your paid group is you want your free group to end a week to 2 weeks before your paid group starts. So that way you're giving all of the people in your group chance to buy their challenge pack or ask any questions or whatever needs to happen to get them in. So essentially, if you start your free group on the 1st, then that lasts till the 7th, and then you probably want to start your paid challenge group somewhere around the 14th through the 21st to give yourself time. Because, not everybody's going to buy right away, or, they're going to think about it, and you can keep following up as you need to. And guys, I can't reiterate this enough because this is something that really made me upset. There are going to be people who just want your free groups. It's just going to happen. There are going to be people that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they're never going to buy anything from you. They're never going to join your 21-day fix group or your 3-day refresh group or whatever. They're just not. And you have to be okay with that. And that's one thing that I'm learning as we speak. You have to be okay with that. Because as Beachbody coaches, when we signed up, we decided that we were going to be okay with providing value to our followers regardless. That's what we do. We say, this is something that I would do even if I wasn't getting paid. So make sure that's what we do, even when we're not getting paid. So keep that in mind. So that's what I have for you about free groups. Now we're going to talk about challenge groups. If you have questions, again, if I'm talking too fast, let me know. I'm going to take a quick wine sip. Okay. So with challenge groups, keep in mind that as coaches, we all know what a challenge group means, but as prospects or clients, they don't know what a challenge group is. And to them, maybe even the word challenge might be off-putting or scare them or make them think that it's going to be really hard because that's what the word challenge implies. So I highly recommend considering changing that name first and foremost. Even in your post, my next challenge group starts in 2 weeks. Comment below if you're interested. Call it something different. Because that's scary to people. Maybe they do want to do it, but you just called it a challenge. And if you're a health and fitness coach and you think it's a challenge, what am I going to think it is if I've never done it before? So maybe an accountability group works best for you. Maybe you like the term boot camp, which I think boot camp can kind of be off-putting as well, even though I do use that. So think of a different term that works for you, that makes it sound fun, and start with that. That's for your paid group. Also keep in mind that there really is no one way to run a challenge group. So don't be afraid to think outside the box. You can run groups that are month-long. You can have an ongoing challenge group that just you keep adding people to as they become your clients. That's fine, whatever works for you. There's no wrong way to do it. But all I can say is that don't be scared to try new things. Don't be scared to self-reflect and look at what's working and what's not. And don't feel bad if your first couple challenge groups really suck big time. Even if you've been a coach for 2 years and you think your challenge groups still suck, that's okay. You're learning. It's not a big deal. Just promise yourself and inadvertently to your challengers that you're going to learn from this boot camp that you just started or just finished and try to do something different next time. Accountability group or 30-day fitness and nutrition boot camp. Or yeah, you can just use the name. It's always fun to make a really clever name for your group. So in February, mine was Operation Love Your Body. So, name it something like that. And you can say Operation Love Your Body starts in 2 weeks. Who's in? So that's a great idea. And yeah, feel free to comment what names you have used that you've liked. It's fun every month to kind of go with the theme of what month it is or the season or if there's a certain holiday or anything like that. That's fun. Personally, when I run groups, I don't make them program to specific. I like to let people do whatever program they want because just because I like the 21-day fix doesn't mean that that's right for everybody. Everybody's going to be at different fitness levels. So I like to leave that open-ended. I do only make my groups 30 days long. So if somebody is doing a 60-day program, I just add them to the next one right away. It's not a big deal. But another thing that I found that works is that I like to keep my groups, my paid groups, small. I don't want any more than 15 people in that. And yes, I know we're trying to hit Success Club 10 and beyond, and that might mean that we have more than 15 challengers, or you've been coaching for 3 years and you have some people who are Shakeology lifers and they want to be in every group, and that's killer if you have those. But try to limit your challenge groups to new customers. And then what I also have is a maintenance group. So once somebody has completed a boot camp, I will ask them, are they going to continue with Shakeology and their program? If so, great. They can be in my next challenge group. If they don't want to, but they still want to stay active or whatever, then they go into my maintenance group. And I make sure that they're still going to get the accountability that they need. So I saw someone in the 5-star group does their challenge tracker going for a year, so you don't have to keep recreating the challenge tracker. Maintenance groups died out. Tips on keeping it popping. I post whatever I post in my challenge group. I post the same exact thing in my maintenance group. I just copy paste, and I post it. I don't make it any different. And I think that if you do try to make it different, then people sense that they are in a different group. You know what I mean? So I still post about my Shakeology, even though probably most of the people in my maintenance group aren't drinking Shakeology. But I always get those people, like just 4 days ago, someone who's in my maintenance group messaged me and it's like, I need to get my chocolate shakes back, you know? So my new customers. So basically for my challenge group in April, I'm only putting the people who bought in April in my challenge group. I might extend it to from March if it's not too big of a number. But I think once you reach a certain amount of people, it starts to get intimidating. And that's the personal reason why I don't like ongoing groups, because you just keep adding people and adding people and adding people. And then lo and behold, next thing you know, there might be 200 people in that group, and maybe everybody's super active and there's just post after post after post after post, and it's just so hard to keep up with. And it makes me not want to post because it's going to get lost in translation. Nobody's going to see it because there's 9 million other posts to look at. Again, that's just my personal opinion, but there is no right or wrong way to do it. Yes. So what I want to do for next is to go over what I do personally, start to finish for my paid group, like the exact timeline that I do things. Bye, Jared. Thanks. So I am going to share my screen. So once I have everybody signed up, about a week before the group starts, or, you know, it might not necessarily be that way. Maybe somebody literally bought a day or two before it starts, but that's fine. What I try to do, if I can, is a week or a few days before the group actually starts, I'm going to send everybody a welcome email. You should have their email because they signed up through you, and you can look in your back office and find it. And I use chimp mail. What do I say? Chimp mail? What do I use? Chip monkey? What's it called?
MailChimp.
Chip monkey mail, whatever it's called. I use MailChimp. If you've never heard of it, Heather just wrote it. Heather just wrote it in the group chat. MailChimp. It's totally free, which is awesome. And you can create these really pretty emails to send out to people that make things look professional, and you can add visuals. And it looks like maybe somebody from corporate sent to them. It's really cool. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what mine looks like. I'm not going to go over a tutorial of how to make it because it's actually really easy. And I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm like completely illiterate when it comes to these things. Can you see my screen? Yes? Okay, cool. So here we go. Oh, no. So it's, oh, sorry. Okay. So this is an example of one of the emails that I made. So I'll put a fun little picture on top, and like what I used before, I made this on Canva, and then I just uploaded it. Operation Love Your Body with Team Fit for Freedom, because that's my team name. And I'm going to say welcome, and it's going to give them everything they need to know. Keep in mind that you do not want to overwhelm your clients before they even start. So this email cannot be pages and pages long. They're going to be like, holy heck, what did I just sign up for? This is intimidating. So keep it really simple, to the point. Let them know you're super happy that you're joined, and here's what you need to do before we get started. Before and after pictures and measurements. These are personally what I asked for. Again, you can make this your own. And I include a picture of how exactly to do that. So they don't have to Google online or do something wrong and then be upset when their results are screwed. Next, I tell them about meal planning and prepping. And then what I do is I add a link to a website that gives you Meal Prep Tips 101. So if they want to look at it, they can. Number 3 is to make sure they know what their workout schedule is and to decide on a time when they're going to work out. And number 4, I talk about what I personally expect in our challenge group. So that could be different for all of you depending on your vibe and your intent, like we talked about. But basically what I say is I require that all of my clients post a minimum of 3 times per week in our group. And it can be a picture, it can be a victory, it can be a celebration, a struggle, a question, whatever. But they have to post 3 times a week. And I also told them, keep in mind that this group is positive vibes only, and that complaints will be respectfully deleted, because that's not the vibe that I want in my group. Yes, we can talk about our struggles, but if someone is blatantly complaining or being disrespectful, they will be deleted, and I will message them and let them know why. I haven't had that problem, I'm not going to lie, but I still write that just in case. And then what I add is on my personal Pinterest page, I have a board of 21 Day Fix approved recipes. And you know people always want recipes. So I have a link right there for them to look at. And I wrote above is my personal page for recipes to use at your convenience. And that's it. Below, I have my link if they need to add me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or if they need to email me, they can click right there and it'll go to that. So super simple. 4 things that they need to know, and that's it. The night before, I'll stop sharing my screen. The night before the group starts, I'm going to private message everybody asking them if they're ready, and if there's any last minute details I can help them with. I'll have to go through the comments in just a second so I don't get distracted, but I'll come to them, I promise. And then what I recommend that you do is I recommend that you let people post organically. I'm not a fan of saying, here's my breakfast post your breakfast below. Here's my lunch post your lunch below. So maybe that works for you and that's great, but for me personally, I don't like structure. I want this to be an open forum where people can talk as they please about what they please. And honestly, if people are working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 or whatever, they might not have time to post a picture of their breakfast. And I don't want them to feel bad because they don't work from home like I do or a couple of the other girls and they didn't get a chance to take a picture. So I like to let things happen organically. And I promise you that if you yourself are being real and organic, people are going to want to do it with you. What I recommend now is to pick a day that's going to be your weekly check-in. And you have to make this non-negotiable. You can't forget about it. And in my welcome email, I actually let them know every Sunday, that's my personal day that I want to use, I will check in with them one-on-one to see how things are going. And every Sunday, and my mom can attest to this, I probably sent her one on accident, even though she's a coach. But she can still get the check-ins too. And there are certain things that I ask when I check in. So on week 1, after it's done, so if I start my group on Monday, I'm messaging them on that Sunday, so they've completed a week of a boot camp, and here's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, hey, Melissa, just wanted to check in like I promised. I love your participation in the group so far. Thank you so much. I hope you're loving it. Just curious, what 2 things are you super proud of about what you've done or accomplished this week? I'd love to be able to hear it and celebrate with you. And actually, while we're on the topic, is there anything that you're still struggling with that I can be sure to talk about next week to help you be better? And then, is there a certain goal that you want to achieve by next week? Those are the 3 things that I ask them to tell me about on my first checkup. Because 1 is keeping it positive. I don't just want to say, hey, what did you think so far? Because Lord only knows what they're going to say to you. And if they're not doing personal development like we are, they might say something negative like, oh man, I'm so sore. It was so hard. I don't know if I can do this. Like, you don't want to hear that. And you don't want them to reiterate that to themselves. So it's just like when I, send somebody a video about the coaching opportunity, I never follow up with them, what did you think? Because that's just asking for a disaster. You always say, what did you like? So that's what we're doing in this. We're asking them what went really well, what's one thing you want to work on a little bit more, and then tell me a goal that you have that I can help keep you accountable with. And then, of course, your job is to help keep them accountable. But so say there's 5 people in my group. I'm going to collect what everybody said they need more help with, and I'm going to use that as tools for the value that I'm going to provide during week 2. Ask and you shall receive, right? That's the whole point of what we do, is to help them. So, for example, in my most previous group, everyone kept saying, I really need help with meal prepping. Like, I tend to fly by the seat of my pants, and then that's where I struggle. So what I did was I created a meal prep challenge, and I gave them all the tools to be successful. And I said, this is not a one-day thing. This is a week-long challenge. I'm going to ask you to create your meal plan for next week. So you have all week to do it. And then by Sunday, you have to post a picture of your plan. And wouldn't you know that every single freaking person posted a picture of their meal plan? Because they asked for my help. I listened, and I provided the solution. And you could do something like, I'll randomly select one winner out of everybody who posted a picture to win some Energize or a Target gift card or whatever the heck you want it to be, just to give a little bit of an incentive if you want. And then week 2, I'm going to say, could you do me a favor? I noticed that you're being awesome in the group and that you've had some really cool meals this week. Could you go ahead and next week share a recipe in the group for other people to use? That's week 2. And then I ask, and how do you plan to finish this boot camp strong? Again, I'm going to use that to help keep them accountable. On week 3, so generally we do the 21-day fix. That's just kind of my jam and what most people like me like. But again, you can leave it open-ended. You ask them for their goodbye pictures and their goodbye measurements so we can celebrate everybody. You congratulate them, of course. Ask them what they liked the most about the group. And then you say, do you plan on continuing with your Shakeology? And would you like to be in our next group? They're based on their decision. You can either move them to the maintenance group or add them to your next challenge group. Personally, I don't let people into my paid groups if they're not on Shakeology. That's just me personally. If they don't want to be on Shakeology, I still have a group for them, but they're not going to be in my challenge group. Cool. So what questions were there? A link. What am I sharing a link to? My email? Sarah, share a link to my email?
No, like if you go in there, there's a you can get the link to just share the MailChimp thing so people can view it as like a sample.
Oh yeah. I'll send that in both groups.
Okay.
So you can look at it. And then I don't want to actually go any further just because it's already been so long. But I was going to talk about the Challenge Track app. But
why don't you go live before you leave for boot camp?
I'll do that.
In both groups. Or you can go live, or you can make a video and then just post it in both groups.
Yeah, I'll do that instead, and I'll video it. So for those who are interested in looking at it, my maintenance group, what is my maintenance group called?
Mom.
Is it called maintenance group? I have no idea. I don't think it's anything very clever, to be completely honest. But on the banner, it just says, congratulations on finishing your boot camp. Now let's keep up the good work, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah. And that's all I have for you.
That was awesome. I love it so much. And if anybody has any specific questions, feel free to ask. Let's see. Josie just said, wait, somebody said how many groups?
Okay.
Oh, Abby said, so how many groups do you always have going?
So I have my maintenance group that lasts forever. So basically when I don't have a free group or a accountability group started, I'm still posting the things that I post on like my normal page, like things like that in that group. And here and there, a recipe or whatever. I only run one free group at a time, and I only run one paid group at a time. And that's it. So at any given point, I'm only running 1 to 2 groups at a time. My life as a coach is not to be hectic. And if I am feeling hectic like that, then I'm probably not giving my clients all the attention that they deserve. So my ongoing group is my maintenance group, and then I only run either a free group or an accountability group at a time.
And hold on 1 second. For anybody that is like a visual person, like, so what Molly was saying is, so like your first week is when you're going to run your free groups, and you do that too, right, Molly? The first week of the month?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your first week of the month is where you do your challenge group, your free group, okay? So I always do my challenge group the third Monday of every month, even if it's sometimes an ongoing challenge group. So that third Monday gives you time to get these free people into this challenge group. And then my new coach training starts the first Monday of the month, so that 1 week, usually 5 or 7 days. So that the first 2 weeks of the month, you're focusing on clients, because there's a deadline and they have to be in by April 17th. And then the week 3 and week 4, you're focusing on coaches, because there's a deadline to get into the new coach training. So when you actually plan out and you know exactly when your groups are running, you know when to post about it, I suggest, Melissa makes a marketing plan every month, and she literally posts like when to post about this, when to post about the live event, And so when you know exactly what's happening and you have a system, it's so much easier to invite people to things too, because, and that's the reason why behind Molly, like the way that she runs it, that the first week is always her free group. Sorry, this is Melissa talking. If you want to post that, your marketing plan in both groups, they would probably love to see that. So I think we're going to cut it off, though, because it is getting late, and I think Adley's been crying the whole time downstairs, and I know Matt still has to do some work. So, and just post any questions. I will upload this recording tomorrow to both groups, and any questions that you have, you can either just post below it or just tag Molly in our team page. Feel free to start a discussion, because that's what we're here for. We're here to answer questions, to encourage each other. Oh, and Melissa, I'll give you a 2-minute spiel for what you want to tell them. And we want a group picture. Wait, can we do that real quick right now? Nicole, Veronica, Ramel, Nancy. Oh, wait, no, I'm just kidding. Nancy's there. I don't know who this 541 is. But I can't see your face because you're on the call. All right, so we are going to take a screenshot. Ramel, come back. Veronica, show your face. Nicole. No, okay, maybe not. All right, so everyone smile. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Control. Shit. Why is it not working? Okay, somebody else take it.
I already took one earlier. I don't know if we got everybody, but I was kissing Adley, so. That's all that matters, really.
I don't know what's happening. Okay. Control shift. That was, wait. Did it. Okay, go ahead.
We were all super ready for that one 10 minutes later. Like April's 7 a.m. power hour. Anywho. So for those of you who didn't see, I was the monthly winner for March. And for those of you new coaches who don't know what the Beachbody Challenge is, I'm just going to give you a really quick rundown on that. So you can submit your pictures once a month, which I'm awful at. I need to be better at it, right? Once a month, you can submit your pictures, your before and your after pictures. They pick a winner every day for $500. Nancy's a Beachbody Challenge winner. They pick one winner for the month. That's $1,000. And their coach gets $500 for that, which is awesome. So April's $500 richer. Then if you're a I didn't even realize this was how it worked, because last year I was like, I'm going for that finalist, that on stage on summit. And I didn't realize that you had to be a winner in some way to even qualify for that. It's a special entry. You have to be a Beachbody Challenge winner, either the daily, the monthly, and the daily and the monthly get rolled into the quarterly, or at least the monthly get rolled into the quarterly. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. So I am automatically a contestant 1 of 12 in my age and gender for the quarterly winner of Molly. Nancy, you yell at her. For the quarterly winner of $5,000. And this Prego Mama, who has paid out the wazoo for my back, really use that money. So it is based on voting. So the voting starts on Monday, April 24th, and it goes for 7 days, and you can vote once a day. It starts at noon Pacific time on Monday, and you can vote once every 24-hour period. So if you vote Monday afternoon, it's Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Okay, so I'm also gonna need you to share that link in your challenge groups, on your Facebook page. Like, even in the email I got, it's like, tell your mother, your brother, sister, your baby daddy, your brother, your like, I bet like Jeff probably wrote this email, but it was like, tell everyone you know, share it, scream it from the rooftops, but you know, like, keep the nice game face on. So of course we're doing this nicely. And so I also have to submit my pictures next week. So just for you guys, the Beachbody Challenge to let you know how it works. So there is a specific 1 week period for those to enter in the pictures for the grand prize finalist. So I am legit in the running for that. And I have to take my pictures next week with either a daily newspaper, which they said, who the reads a newspaper anymore, right? So I have to hold a piece of paper next to me that says mango to prove that it's current. And I'm pregnant and I can't cleanse, and this baby doesn't want me to eat anything other than junk. So this is going to be a great picture. But anyways, they just want to see that you've maintained your results. And then they will pick, Beachbody picks 8 finalists from each age group. And they are announced June 5th. And then the voting continues for the finalists for Summit. So that's how that process is going to work. I'm going to need you guys every step of the way. And so, yeah, so voting starts on Monday, and I will be sharing the URL. I'm going to be putting it in my challenge groups, my free groups, every group I'm in, and hopefully you guys will see me on that freaking stage at Summit. That's the goal. That's the dream. It's been the dream since my first Super Saturday, when I stood in the back and didn't want anyone to see me because I was just miserable. And I said, I will be a success story. Like, the first Super Saturday, I couldn't even finish the workout. It was PIO, before PIO came out, before it was released. I couldn't even finish it. I had to leave. And it was a dream since that day. So never give up. Super Saturdays are amazing. They will change your life, literally. Get your butt to on. And if you're not going to Summit, get there too. And that's all I have.
Yay! Yeah, I just said if you type up a quick little thing that they can share too, so when they like share their posts, and literally I would just write it out like as they were like, check out my girl Melissa, who, you know, and then they can just like copy and paste that and share that with the links. I think they could also post that on their personal page, like Molly said. So awesome! I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Molly, so much. This was so much good information, and she has more to come. So she's gonna post a video before she leaves for Punta Cana Sunday. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. Greg will be hosting next Thursday at 8:30. I didn't even give him a choice. I just told him he is. And so I am super excited for that. I will have to catch the recording because we'll just be getting home. So thank you guys so much. Please, please, please talk this up and you know, get people here. I want to max out this call. I want to have to upgrade my account because I can host 50 people right now. I want to upgrade this account and see 100 freaking faces on here every Thursday at 8:30. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. This was so much fun, and we will see you next week. Same link. If you have any questions or anything in particular you want to hear about, feel free to ask us. Thank you so much for showing up. I love all the new faces. You guys are awesome. You are on the best team ever. Have a great night, guys.